Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Steph Koza, and today I am talking about The Incredibles 2. The Incredibles is one of those movies that's like, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what kind of stuff you're into, you probably like The Incredibles. Everyone likes The Incredibles. Who doesn't like The Incredibles? If you know someone who doesn't like The Incredibles, send them to me so I can get rid of them. Get them off this planet. Get them out of my world. I love The Incredibles. It's so good. It's such a classic. It's one of my favorite movies. I honestly think it's like one of the best superhero movies ever. It's so much fun. It's such a heartwarming, like, it's a Pixar movie. It does things to you. And I think The Incredibles is one of my favorite, if not my favorite Pixar movie ever. So I've been waiting 14 years with a lot of high expectations, just building and building more and more the longer I've waited. I can't believe it took 14 years to make this movie. I didn't even realize it until I went to see it and I was like, wow, it has been 14 years since the first movie. That's a long time. That's a lot of expectations. That's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. So I went to see this movie and I am so happy to say that it was so worth the wait. It was so good. I loved this movie so much. I have very, very little bad things to say about it. I basically have no bad things to say about it. It was so good. It was so well done, super well written. Ugh, I loved it so much. So basically, The Incredibles 2 takes place right after The Incredibles 1, like literally in the moment. You know, in the last scene of The Incredibles, that like mole guy comes up out of the ground and they all put on their super suits and they're like, let's go, fam. It literally starts right in that second. I just realized it looks like I'm naked, but I'm not naked, guys. I'm wearing clothes, I swear. So this movie is all about trying to get superheroes to be legalized again. It definitely has a lot of like low-key parallels to our own world and our own culture, but it's really about how superheroes were frowned upon back in the day. They were legalized. It became a crime to be a superhero, and that made all superheroes have to go into hiding, and anyone else who knows you're a superhero kind of judges you and is like, oh, you're a criminal, you're a bad guy. And everyone was kind of afraid of them, so there was just this weird stigma with superheroes being bad. So Helen and Bob and Lucius decide that they want to fix this, and they meet up with these other people who are like, hey, we can help you fix this law. And they do this whole like campaign thing, and it's mostly with Helen, Elastigirl. She's like spearheading this, and she's like doing all this awesome superhero campaign ass-kicking, and while she's off doing that and living the dream, Bob is home being a dad, taking care of the kids, trying to do everything that she normally does because he doesn't really do that stuff. And it's so funny and so much fun, and it's awesome to see the mom just out there kicking ass because she is the coolest character, but it's also awesome to see the dad at home being a dad, and there's like this very clear parallel of like parents are superheroes, whether you're actually a superhero or you're just a dad, and it really shows that, and it's such a great message, and I love it so much, and it's done so well in that beautiful, funny, quirky, cute, making you want to cry Pixar kind of way. It's so great. But I just love the juxtaposition of the two of them throughout the film. The majority of the film is them kind of separated. Not like romantically separated, like they're very much together, but they're not in the same place. But yeah, I had so much fun watching this movie. It is so funny. Jack, I love Jack. He was my fave. He has so many amazing moments in this movie, and it's fun because it's kind of like Jack is learning his powers and everyone around him is learning what his powers are, so we as viewers don't know what his powers are and we have no idea what's gonna happen, and he just keeps like revealing these different powers, and they're so funny. Oh, it's so good. I feel like this movie is just endless fun, non-stop entertainment, and it's the perfect balance of heartwarming family movie and comedy action superhero film. It's like the perfect balance. It's like they keep the comedy where the comedy needs to be, and they keep the heartwarming family shit where the heartwarming family shit needs to be, and it just fits and it works and it's so good, and I'm gonna buy it and see it a million more times because I loved it so much. And I really feel like The Incredibles, like 1 and 2, are probably honestly like the best superhero movies that have ever been made. Like, hear me out. This is a superhero movie about a family of superheroes who is super relatable, super understandable. They're just like regular people that have powers. But what makes it so good is that the movie itself isn't really about their superpowers. Like, not really. There's never like a crucial plot point that has to do with their their actual powers. Like, there's no kryptonite, there's no, like, weakness against their powers specifically. There's no, like, arch nemesis. There's nothing really crucial or detrimental about their literal powers. It's more like they have powers, that's a thing, but it's not really the forefront. It's just like about this family being a family and being good people, and it's just so well done, and I love it. And like I said, I love the idea of parents being superheroes. I think that is such a good message, and I love it, and it's so cute. I think, like I said, I have very little complaints. They're like, I'm just grasping for very small things here. I feel like the first one was better, but that's, you know, it's hard to top that. I think the villain in the first movie was way better just because it had that, like, personal tie, and it was, like, just a really well done villain, and it made sense, and it was like, oh, Bob basically created this villain, and it just was really interesting. Whereas in this movie, it's just, like, a bad guy. It's just a villain. That doesn't mean the villain in this movie isn't good. It's a pretty good villain. It's just, it's hard to top the first movie's villain, you know? I also think I would have liked to get a little bit more from Dash. I know there's a lot of characters and a lot of stuff going on, so, like, I get it, I understand, but I feel like in the first movie there was a pretty good balance between Dash's problems and Violet's problems and the parents' problems. In this one, I feel like it's a lot about Violet and a lot about the mom, pretty good amount about the dad, and then, like, a very small arc for Dash. He's mostly just there to tell funny jokes and say funny things, which is great, and I loved it, but I would have liked a little bit more from him, just like, what's going on with you? And then I think there was just one scene that kind of, I wouldn't say irritated me, because I liked what was said in the scene, but I feel like I can't tell you what it is, but if you've seen it, maybe you know what I'm talking about. I feel like it wasn't necessary to the movie, and it was, to me, I think The Incredibles is a kid's movie. Like, yeah, we're all adults who saw it as kids or saw it 14 years ago, whatever, and now we're like, ah, I love this movie, I'm gonna watch it. But, like, the primary audience is kids. Like, it's a kid's movie. And there's just this one scene that felt very much like an adult movie scene. Like, it was kind of long compared to other scenes in the movie. It was very boring, like, back and forth close-up shots of a conversation between two people just sitting in chairs. Like, it was very, like, a scene that you would see in a more mature movie. And it felt like, to me, it was a good scene, but as, like, a filmmaker, I feel like it shouldn't have been in this movie. It just didn't feel like it fit. It didn't fit the audience. It also wasn't really that necessary. Like, the things that were said were important, but it was also, like, you can kind of infer what they were saying from watching the movie. I don't know. It's hard to explain without telling you what scene it is, but it was just this one tiny moment where I was like, I don't think this is necessary. You could probably just cut this out and it'd be fine. But anyways, that's it. That's, like, it's very small complaints. I loved this movie. I really did. And because of that, I am gonna give it a 4.5. I would like to give it like a 4.75, but that's like getting a little too specific. It's a high 4.5. It was really good. I loved it so much. So yeah, that's my review of The Incredibles 2. Let me know if you guys saw The Incredibles 2 in the comments below. Tell me what you thought about it. If you'd like to join our Patreon chat room to talk about this movie and talk about spoilers, you can join our chat room. The link is in the description below. All you gotta do is become a patron on Patreon and you'll be invited into the chat room forever. But that's it for my review. My name is Steph Koza. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Definitely click that bell icon down there so that you get notifications every time I post a video. Otherwise, you'll never know when I post a video. Thanks, YouTube. You're the best. And that's that. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Thanks for watching. Bye!